What's up, everybody? We are back. Hey, Rez, you shave your balls?
I do shave my balls. I do.
Welcome to Late Breakfast. I'm Taurian B.
And I'm first class Regg.
Rez, how was Christmas?
Man, it was actually pretty chill. I went to go see my aunt, had some good food, had some good drinks. My cousin came over, made some margaritas. She's like in this whole vibe right now. That's her thing.
Yeah, man, I like margaritas.
Yeah.
That's my shit.
How about you?
It was good. I had a good Christmas, man. It was just me and my girl. Just
Mhm.
open gifts and everything like that. My family opens gifts at midnight. So my mom FaceTimed me from Atlanta. She had the whole family over there and everything. I got some pretty good gifts. Good year. This was the year of gift giving. Actually, every year I love giving gifts.
Yeah.
So I gave a lot of gifts out, and I still got to drop off some more gifts to my nieces and nephews and godkids.
Nice.
You know, so that's about it. For the most part, but I just want to get straight into it. Jay-Z was on Spaces,
Mm-hmm.
and he said some things. One of them I think was it was a response to Future saying that in the streets he's bigger than Jigga. When they asked him about verses, he said no one can stand on the stage with him.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I think it's hard, man, because when he said it, I thought about Wayne, as a lot of people did. Because versus people forget, the legacy of Jay-Z, nobody is like taking anything away from that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go within the guidelines of verses, it's 20 songs. And then he named Grammy Family. I thought that was weird that he named Grammy Family. Like, oh, if I perform this, that's a very New York biased thing. Like, to say that you perform in Grammy Family would be untouchable. I love Grammy Family.
Okay.
But Wayne could easily beat Grammy Family.
He can. So this is the thing, right? I feel that, number one, I don't even think Wayne needs to do any album cuts.
No, he doesn't.
A Millie has to be in his 20. But I feel like Wayne is just going to go straight mixtape Weezy. We're going to get a lot of The Drought. We're going to get a lot of Dedication. We're going to get a lot of No Semblance, right? Jay said Grammy Family because he saw what Jadakiss did. But I think Grammy Family, it might work, but it might not work against Wayne because Wayne plays Show Me What You Got freestyle.
Yeah.
What happens, right? So I think Jay said Grammy Family because he saw what Jadakiss's freestyle. Because a lot of people, there's some people who thought that Jadakiss freestyle that he did that came out
that it was new
years ago was new, and didn't realize that. And Jadakiss could have probably, and that's not even Jadakiss's most iconic freestyle. He has cool freestyles, so Master Flex freestyles, right? The freestyle that he has with Biggie.
Yeah, he has some shit.
So what I'm saying is Jay saw that and was like, oh, if I think he just compared it. He said, if that freestyle that Jadakiss did got everybody going like that, what the fuck are y'all going to do when y'all hit
Yeah.
But I don't think in his mind, Wayne was the person who he thought people would. Like, Wayne is obviously the obvious competitor, but I think that like him and Wayne, like they have a respect. I think that he was talking about Future.
I think so too, because Future is the one that kind of pushed for that conversation.
Right.
But I think another person that I would love to see Jay go against that would really hold his own is Kanye.
Yeah. LaShawn got so upset with me that he ended our conversation at 7 p.m. and said goodnight.
Did you go to bed, LaShawn?
No. He didn't talk to me. I really think that Kanye is when Jay will have to go into like his big features and big hits bag.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with Kanye is that we don't have to guess what tracks Kanye is going to use in like his hits. It's very obvious. It's just if like Jay has to do the sequencing right.
Yeah.
So I feel like Kanye, I feel like we all could make a 20 for Kanye. That would be so hard to beat, right? And that's not even just his production credits. LaShawn's argument to me was that Kanye produced a lot of tracks that are considered iconic or considered what would be unbeatable, right?
Yeah.
And I agree with that, but I don't even think Kanye would even touch that bag because it's not because that like I think Kanye will stay in his artist bag and just go at Jay and just go different ways. But the thing that Jay might have the leverage over Kanye is him knowing how to give a live performance really well and him doing like the whole freestyle thing or him doing like unreleased shit or like him like going into like pulling on the heartstrings of like songs that like we didn't hear for a long time
Mhm.
to perform live and shit like that.
He kind of did that a little bit with the Larry Hoover shit.
Yeah. So we could see, right? I think that Jay-Z is the God MC, but
Of course.
I feel like there's a lot of artists who for whatever reason always feel like they always have to mention Jay-Z's name when they're talking about the best.
Yeah.
They never mention Nas, they never mention Wayne, right? They don't ever mention Scarface. They never bring up fucking Snoop. They never bring up like all of these. There's a lot of rappers that are considered the GOATs, right?
Yeah.
But me having my time in Atlanta, like I've always heard people say, like they know Jay-Z's the bar, but some people just feel the need to disrespect Jay,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's really confusing to me.
But you know why though, right?
Because Jay-Z's the face of New York rap.
Well, that and also Jay-Z's too cool. So like if you,
but Nas is too cool.
Yeah, but not Jay-Z cool. It's different. Like Hove, everyone speaks for Hove. Like his fan base speaks for him. Yeah. He doesn't have social media. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't have social media. He doesn't do none of that shit. But I think people do it to put attention on them because they kind of, it's like I said off mic. It's like you diss Hove. It's like you yelling into the abyss. Like you're not expecting a response back. Right. You just do it for attention of it.
Do you think that Future would ever say that about Wayne? Do you think that Future would say, I'm bigger than Wayne?
No, because he doesn't. And it probably goes to a respect thing too. And that's too close to home. He'll be looking crazy.
So you don't think that Future thinks that his mixtapes hold up against Wayne's mixtapes?
No, I don't think so. I think he had a Wayne-like run in 2017.
Right. I guess it's just perplexing to me.
Or was that 2015? Dirty Sprite 2?
It's just one of the weirdest things in the world to me. Because I understand what you're saying, but it's just like if you're that confident and you think like Wayne has gone down and said Jay's my favorite rapper, he's the best rapper ever. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm okay with being the second Carter. Like Wayne has said that even though like he's going at Hope and spoiled Hope, right? Mm-hmm. But like I just find it hard to understand that like even Future saying like, yo, T.I. ain't the king of the South, I'm the king of the South. Like, leave Jay-Z the fuck alone. Go at these other niggas who will actually come off the porch and get with you. I guarantee you if Future said, yo, T.I. like the streets love me more than they love T.I., T.I. will fuck, what?
T.I. will make an IG live that day.
T.I. will be talking to his phone so fast.
Yeah, but that's not what he wants. He don't do it. They don't do it for the response from the person. Excuse me. They don't do it for the response from the person. They do it for the response from the people. And you get the most response when you go at the king.
I get it, but that's my point. They over here, they love to say that Jay's not the king, right? And disrespect the king because they know that the king won't leave his castle. Go at the lords. You know, you got other clans. You got niggas that's a lord, that's a knight, and all this shit. Yo, Future. You got T.I. who is ready to jump off the porch. Mm-hmm. You got Wayne who also has his own hive that will literally he will bring the drama to your door. It's just confusing.
See, but
go at Nas, brother.
See, but that's the problem. That's the problem. You don't want to entertain. You don't actually want to battle these niggas. He don't want to battle these niggas. He's doing it. He's just doing it for the look. Perfect example is T.I. going at 50. T.I. was like throwing rocks. He was throwing everything at 50 to get 50 to react. Yeah. And give him a versus.
Because T.I. is like, we the same class.
Yeah. And also he knew though that 50 wouldn't do it. It was just attention.
I don't think he knew.
And then Busta came in and was like, yo, yeah, come to me. And he was like, nah.
Yeah. Because he was like, you was rapping when I was in
middle
school.
He's like, no.
Yeah. But T.I. was smart in that. But I do think that if the right bag was given, T.I. would have did a versus with Busta.
Yeah, probably.
But
he would just have to hold that L.
But he will hold that L, even though I would enjoy that versus very much. Mm-hmm. But I think T.I. really was hoping that 50 would do it.
I think maybe, but I don't see 50 even going on that platform for some reason.
I feel 50 wouldn't go on that platform. I feel like 50 would want more control.
Yeah.
50 would be like, I need to be on Showtime,
but
be real life pay-per-view. Like I think 50 would be like, fuck Triller. Like,
so back to Hove's conversation in the spaces a few days ago or whatnot. He did say something I know you wanted to talk about with Beyonce as far as performer.
He said that Michael Jackson doesn't have a Beychella. I was at Beychella. I enjoyed Beychella so much. I linked up with my homegirl Beatrice. Shout out to B. But I don't think Jay-Z really meant that. He also said, my wife is gonna be mad at me for saying this. But it's just like, yo, bro, like I get it. You love your wife. You want to big her up. I get it. You made 444. Like, you risk losing your queen. But brother, it's Michael Jackson. Beyonce performed at the Super Bowl already. Mm-hmm. Michael Jackson performed at the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now, the reaction that Michael Jackson got, what he did, like that was like a big deal. There's a lot of things that Beyonce doesn't have that Michael Jackson has. He has iconic moments. He has iconic wardrobe, his socks, his shoes, his glove, his jerry curl, high water pants, his singing tone, particular records. There's a lot of things that Beyonce doesn't have. And this is not me discrediting Beyonce. Beyonce idolizes Michael Jackson too.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's one thing and this opens up the door for this. A lot of iconic artists have iconic things about them. Tina Turner is her legs, right? Aretha Franklin, she's just the queen of soul.
Mm-hmm.
Mary J. Blige has the auntie dance. Like there's certain things that artists have, and I guess for Beyonce, what would it be? Would it be the uh-oh? Would it be no, this is the uh-oh. And then single ladies,
the single lady shit? Right? Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What I'm just saying
leotards.
Right, yeah.
Just
like,
completely
Beyonce doesn't have those things. I just don't think that Beyonce holds a candle to Michael Jackson. And saying that Beyonce has Coachella, like you don't think when Michael Jackson was alive, if he contacted Coachella and said I want a headline, that they would
absolutely they would headline. Absolutely.
So I just think Jay-Z saying that, like, it was kind of like tongue in cheek. Michael's not here, like it just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, and I love, like, come on, like, Jay, you brought out Michael Jackson at Summer Jam, my man. I'm sorry, LaShawn.
It's not a joke. It's a fact.
It's not a joke.
It's a fact.
It's a fact.
He brought out MJ at Summer Jam.
And that's one of the most iconic talked about moments.
Yeah, he didn't bring out Beyonce.
Ever. Yeah, I think Beyonce coming out of Summer Jam would be cool, but I don't think that it will be looked at the same.
Summer Jam needs to, I don't know what they doing, man. It's kind of crazy to me that they don't have like an archive of footage from back then.
Yeah, it's insane to me too. The only thing
That's
I can
wild.
think is that like maybe artists like can sue and don't sign off or whatever. But yeah, we don't have Summer Jam performances like corrected. It's usually like handheld shit.
It's so crazy to me.
I don't know.
They didn't start till years later, like actually filming they shit, and now it doesn't even fucking matter anymore. All the best moments are behind us.
I don't know, man. But, hey, Reg, you shave your balls?
I do shave my balls.
What product do you use?
I use Manscaped, especially the Lawnmower Trimmer 4.0.
Wow, I need to check that out.
I think you should. And with our code, RAPINORDER20, you can get 20% off.
Wow, Reg, thanks for that. My girl's going to be so happy.
Smooth as eggs. It's gone.
Another thing I want to talk about last night was the end of an era. Insecure.
Yes. Yeah, Insecure. Man, going into this episode and coming off the one before it, I just didn't know how they would wrap this up in 30 minutes. But they gave us 41 minutes this week. Mm-hmm. Took what we could get. I think they did the best that they could. I think it was really cool to see them do the time jumps using the birthdays, because a big thing that stood out the last episode was, hey, let's at least, with them separating, with Tiffany moving to Colorado with her husband, it was like, oh, well, let's at least link up for birthdays. Like, that's going to be the shit. Even though we're all getting super busy, we're in our 30s, we're all moving differently as adults. Let's at least commit to seeing each other on our birthdays. And this episode, to get to see them do that, it was a cool way to fill in different gaps of like what was happening in each other's lives.
And I think a lot of people missed on that. A lot of people that were watching it that complained, they missed on the fact they were like, oh, these time jumps is too much. And I think it shows like Grey's Anatomy, whereas like they spend a season on like one story arc. They're not understanding that pretty much this is what life is like in your 30s. And I think a lot of people are not accepting that this is what happens. I have like Regg is my best friend, right? But I'm one of those people that I grew up with multiple. Like I have friends from different parts of my life that were like I was really close with. Yeah. My friend Tyson lives in Las Vegas. I try to see him at least once a year and goes visit him and his kids because he hates New York City. My friend Ted lives in fucking Jersey, and it's like it's so hard to coordinate going to see him. Jersey is right over the bridge. Yeah, you know, I got my other friend Mike that lives in Maine. I haven't seen Mike. I haven't met his daughter yet. Yeah, your adult like it's your adult life. You don't get to do things consistently, and I think there's a lot of things that people hold on to and don't understand that. Because they're not in this place yet where they need to make these type of decisions, like for the sake of the adulthood. But all in all, I thought it was a great episode. I thought it was great. I thought the time jumps was necessary. It was the only way to get us to have some type of movement and some closure in this episode. I do too. I think that Issa and Nate not working out. I like Nate a lot. I did, but truthfully speaking, like. It was always Lawrence. Yeah, it needed to be Lawrence. Yeah, that was her soulmate, and seeing how it played out with them breaking up. Like we've been on fucking a roller coaster with them as like people, as individuals, and seeing them grow, seeing them try dating. Lawrence was getting his in LA. Yeah, he was. He slammed half of LA like they said. And I just think that you got to remember they dated probably right out of college, right? They had mutual friends, and I think that what happened is that life hit them hard. And Court pointed this out to me. When you want to work in the IT industry, typically the first job you have Apple, Best Buy, you know, and things are hard, and yet you're stagnant because you don't want to succumb and leave from the field that you really are passionate about and want to work in. And you're going to have those times where you are unemployed or things just really, really suck. And you just got to figure that shit out. Got to figure it out. So it's unfortunate that Lawrence, like as a lot of women point out, Lawrence was on that couch. But what they also neglect is that Issa wasn't doing it the best either. So both of them were kind of like down at that point in time and didn't know where they were going. Issa didn't remember like the episode when they went to the college reunion. Like, and Issa couldn't really speak on. Yeah. And you gotta remember, she was getting into her career field that she wanted to do. I just think that they both were like kind of like trying to figure things out, and like that's what your 20s are about. And they wanted to be a couple of things, and then life just happened. So they dated other people, they had other experiences, and then when they got their shit together, both of them, they figured out like, okay, we can figure out how this is. Granted, Lawrence had a child during that time period. It's life. This shit happens. It's a short thing. In the 30s, it just happens. And I get that. At the same time, like some women just don't want to start a life with someone and they're not the first mom. But at the same time, it's just like sometimes you can't control shit, but as long as you and that person can get on the same page, that's great. Like, so to me, like their relationship is the best case scenario. The best case scenario doesn't always happen, but I think that what we got on Insecure was pretty damn dope, because I'll be honest, when Issa first talked about it, I was like, oh, she's going to pull a Seinfeld and shit's just going to end. Oh, yeah. I really thought that's what she was going to do. I thought she was going to fuck our heads up. Yeah, Seinfeld just ended. Wasn't they like in a jail cell or some shit? Yeah, they were in a jail cell, and the episode just ended because it was a show about nothing. I really thought Issa was going to say, fuck it, I don't know how to satisfy anyone, so the show's... And I thought it was just going to end and we never know if her and Lawrence get back together, anything. Like, I was prepared for that. I love all the subtle nuances in this episode. All the, her looking in the mirror at the end, and then you realizing you see the ring. You see the ring and her voice. The voice in her head no longer speaks. The voice, it was just her in the mirror, and she just looked complete. It was just like she looked very solid in her base, like it, as a person. There was a lot of development there. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. What is this character's name? Not Kelly. Molly. Not Molly. Tiffany. I liked how Tiffany, a lot of things that were going on with Tiffany weren't spoken about, and it wasn't fully addressed, right? How she was pretty much dealing with postpartum, and how like she was going through changes, and then at the end, Like we see, like she kind of let go of the blonde hair, and she had like the black hair with the Beyonce bangs, as people call them, right? I thought that it was just like little subtle things, and me being and you as well being like a Marvel Comics nerd and like looking for Easter eggs. I think like that's what they were doing in the show. Like certain things don't have to be pushed into your face.
Yeah,
it's little subtle things that like you can see in a TV show if you watch it and you pay enough attention, and then you'll get it, right? So it's just like, okay, Tiffany has finally accepted that they're going to live in Colorado now, and that, you know, like she's going to consistently see her friends and they're not going to be far removed. I think that for Kelly, giving that speech that she gave where she was like, yo, I'm pregnant. They was like, I thought you didn't want kids. And she was like, I don't want these niggas, baby. I want that nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? I thought that was dope because it's just one of those things where it's showing like a maturation of these people. I'm going to let you talk about Molly. Like Molly's maturation.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Molly because I was really happy for her because I dislike Molly.
Yeah.
For the entire series.
I think good, even with this season opening, you already get a different vibe from Molly. She cut her hair, right? And she just seemed very much more aware of the type of person that she was before in her dating life. It was always somebody else's fault. It was always that nigga's fault why shit didn't work out. And I think up until she dated Andrew was when she had to reflect the Asian guy, I think, from the last. So up until she dated him was when she had like the reflection period of like, damn, like maybe it is always me type shit. And then you saw her trying to correct the past and the mistakes that she had and getting close to this guy, Taurian Hive now. He has a hive. Getting close to this guy and being apprehensive because shit doesn't always work out when she gets close to people. But then just embracing it and seeing that this dude is 10 toes down and he's all about her and he's trying to get to know her. And he wasn't afraid of like her energy because he was the same type of person. And they both kind of broke each other down because they weren't those same intimidating people that they were in the office that we knew. So that was really cool to see. And their chemistry was just so great. Like in episode 9, when they got high, they took the edibles. They was like munching, like eating a bunch of munchies. You know, like you really got to see this other side of Molly that people didn't see before. I know a lot of people felt the way about the death of her mom and the way that they covered that, but I thought that it was necessary in the time frame that they had and just showing growth as an adult and how shit happens and how you kind of have to cope with it. I wouldn't want to see a whole episode of her coping with that. It would just be too long. Yeah,
it was just extra like meat, and I think that what she did in that last episode really kind of cut through things because think about it. Think about what was it, episode 2 or 3? Whereas like they focus on like one topic throughout the whole episode, we all felt like it was a waste.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just like, yo, like this last episode, I know we keep saying this, but it really is like what your late 20s into your 30s is like. Everything happens fast. And it's like, you're like blinking like, yo, like shit, I feel like last Christmas just happened. I'm like, think about what we're going through right now since we've been on this lockdown and everything with quarantine and shit like that. Like everything is happening so fast. Like, like I see my little brother, he's 13 now, and it's just like he went from like thinking like girls were weird to like now like he likes girls. He's asking questions and shit.
That's like, wild, man.
Like a year, it feels like 6 lifetimes, yo.
Yeah, for real.
So I was really happy what you said.
Seeing the way that it played out was really, really cool, and everything didn't have to be force fed. It was just like little subtleties to show you, like, yeah, this happened, that happened. This is how we're dealing with it. Right. This is probably gonna happen in the future. Like the way it just ended was like, yo, yeah, our life goes on. It wasn't like a hard stop. It was just like, yeah, our life is going to keep moving.
That I want to talk about. A lot of women were saying that they wish that Issa just stayed single and successful and bossed up, right? What I think that a lot of women miss is that they are looking they're looking for something in the wrong woman on the show. Candola is that woman. Candola didn't give a fuck about Lawrence.
That's a good point.
It clear she was divorced already, right?
And she bossed up.
She said, "Yo, I don't even need you to be in this child's life." Granted, like they came to the conclusion they understood like this co-parenting thing needs to be a thing. Candola really held it down and showed maturity and handled a lot of things with grace. Because imagine that conversation, like, you did what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you mean you could, after I left with our child, you got into a fight fighting over your ex? You know? I think that Candola really kind of like showed maturity for a woman and like being successful like on her own and like just not needing a man, quote unquote, how some women feel that they are, right?
Yeah.
And I think that was a good thing. Like, I'm not saying that like being like funny. I'm saying that like Candola was the perfect example of a woman like taking her own life into her own hands and basically just doing what she needed.
Candola was already at that level in season 4 where she was like, yo, yeah, you can do whatever. Like, I can take care of this.
Yeah. On her own. So I just think that it's very weird, like, you know, that they wanted something from Issa, but like we always knew that Issa, number one, Issa can't be alone. That's number one. Number two is that Issa loved Lawrence and she just wanted the best version of Lawrence and the best version of herself, and she got both. Yeah,
I think, and that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, as far as like them being at a point in their lives as characters of being so fully fleshed out, and the writers did like such a great job with that. They were like fully developed as characters to where they didn't need each other. They just like wanted each other. They enjoyed each other. Like, they grew so much that they weren't dependent on each other anymore. Like, Issa wasn't dependent on Lawrence or any other guy in her life or whatever, how we've seen her be. But now she's at a point where she's super established and like this is what she wants. So it's all about the choices. And it goes back to what Tiffany said in episode 8, I think, of this season, where they had their girls' night. Like, yo, yeah, you know it's not right per se, but if it's right for you, fuck it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what played a big part in Issa's decision at the end.
Yeah, I do too. Issa's happy, Lawrence is happy. Everybody's happy. Everybody got happy endings, and that's like a real thing. So it's just like, hey, man, it is what it is. But I was very satisfied with that.
I was too, man. And if you wasn't satisfied, then I mean, watch something else. This show was great.
Watch something else. But we can wrap it up. You know, thank you guys for watching. I'm Taurian B.
End of an era. I'm First Class Regg.
And we will catch you guys next time.
Peace.